So welcome back, my weathered wayfarers, my titanium-hip ninjas, my freedom fighters of the folding chair. Hobo Yeti here, still moving forward, though at a pace best described as philosophical. Now let's open this one with a cheerful dose of science, shall we? According to the CDC's National Center for Health Statistics, roughly 40% of adults aged 65 and older report mobility limitations. That's walking, climbing stairs, or just staying upright without muttering curse words. So now, imagine that. But you're also homeless, broke, and looking for a place to pitch your tent without being arrested, barked at, flooded out, or judged by someone whose entire personality is based on owning a lawn. Welcome to stealth camping over 60, where your bones creak louder than your fears, and hiding in plain sight is both an art and a survival strategy. Let's begin. 1. The bark barrier. Avoid canine perimeter alarms. Dogs don't care how old you are. They are class traitors in fur coats. That one yappy mutt behind a chain link fence, it just pulled your stealth rating down to 0. And if you're over 60, you're not exactly bolting into the tree line like a Jack Reacher character. You're more like a slow-moving haiku with a hernia. The problem is dogs bark first and think later, and homeowners tend to interpret that bark as a clarion call of danger, not, say, indigestion. So if you hear the canine chorus before you even finish scouting the area, abort mission. Bark equals exposure. Exposure equals questions. Questions lead to someone calling someone younger than you with a badge and a bad mood. Second, HOA zones, where hope goes to die. You ever get that weird feeling you're being watched by manicured lawns and judgmental bird feeders? Yeah, that's the HOA effect. In any area where the hedges are sculpted into topiary dolphins and the trash bins have assigned genders, don't camp. You are not just unsightly, you are, an existential crisis with legs. HOA members live to enforce order. And their biggest fear is discovering that society's safety net has holes big enough to fit someone like you. They call the police if your socks clash. If your tent shows up in their neighborhood, they'll call the governor. So yeah, just roll past that bastion of suburban neurosis and into friendlier terrain, where a misplaced tarp isn't cause for a homeowner's militia. 3. The winter lie of trees. In the summer, that wooded glen looks like Eden's quiet cousin. But in winter, it's a fishbowl of regret. Those leafy cloaks you trusted for cover are suddenly bare branches pointing right at you like, skeletal snitches. Stealth camping after 60 means thinking 3 months ahead, which is tricky when you're just trying to survive the day. But imagine waking up in January under a tree that now offers 0 cover, surrounded by hikers, joggers, or worse, middle schoolers on a nature walk. Trees lie. They change with the seasons. So scout with your imagination wearing a parka. Winter is coming, and visibility is, well, a cold-hearted accomplice to your eviction. 4. Cart is king. Easy access or don't bother. Forget go bag. You've got a go-kart now. Not the fun kind with tiny engines, but the Walmart relic dragging your life behind it like a post-apocalyptic shopping spree. If you can't roll that cart into your camp without busting a hip or pulling a hamstring, that site is disqualified. No hopping fences. No squeezing through drainage pipes. We're not doing stunt work for YouTube. You need flat terrain, some decent concealment, and a clear path in and out. Because if it's 2 a.m. and a flashlight beam hits your tarp, you want your exit strategy to be something more graceful than trip over blackberry bushes and cry softly into the dirt. 5. The Headlight Ballet. At night, cars become lighthouses of betrayal. You may think your sight is hidden behind a bush or two, but once the sun goes down, every passing headlight turns the landscape into a moving X-ray. If you're unlucky, your outline will light up like a crime scene reenactment. Here's the trick. Before committing to a site, wait till full dark and watch the road. Sit there like a weird little goblin with a notebook, charting which angles are lit and how far that light reaches. We're not doing this for fun. We're doing it because flashlights at 3 a.m. feel a lot like judgment wrapped in LED. 6. The fence delusion. Climbing fences is for parkour videos and youthful mistakes. If you're over 60, fences are basically vertical tombstones. You get stuck, your pants rip, and suddenly you're lying in someone's begonias with a twisted ankle and a citation. Don't do it. If a fence says, don't come in, believe it. There's always a better spot. And let's be real. If you do get over it, how are you getting your cart over? Are you going to vault it like a shopping Olympian? Please, choose dignity. Choose flat ground. Choose your knees. Seventh, business hours betrayal. An empty lot might look quiet now, but if there's a porta potty or even one of those weird green power boxes nearby, that land has plans. Landscapers, utility crews, or the guy who power washes sidewalks for therapy could roll in before dawn. Your peaceful camp becomes, an awkward confrontation involving reflective vests and confused stares. Always check signage, see if there's trash pickup. Is there a gravel trail? That's a dead giveaway. Business hours aren't just for jobs anymore. They're for dodging leaf blowers before coffee. 8. The Widowmaker overhead. That big, beautiful tree might look like protection, but branches drop, trees rot, gravity remains undefeated. If you're setting up under a limb thicker than your thigh, you'd better check that sucker for rot, fungus, or the look of a thing that wants to kill you in your sleep. Stealth camping is already Russian roulette with bylaws. Don't add death by tree to the mix. Give the canopy a hard look. If the branch looks like it's holding on by nostalgia, keep it moving. You're not a druid. You're just trying to make it till morning. 9. School zones are death traps. Camp near a school, and you might as well just hand the cops your driver's license and beg for the paperwork to go quickly. Doesn't matter how quiet you are or how far you are from the swing set. If it's within shouting distance, you're in violation of something, The optics alone could have you explaining yourself to a judge, and the judge will not be amused by your tarp camo and artisan beankin stove. Just, no. Go find a drainage ditch like a respectable elder misfit. 10. The drainage surprise party. Ditches are seductive, they cradle your tent, block wind, and offer delicious acoustic cover from cars, but, they're also where the rain goes to murder you. One good storm and your peaceful sleep becomes a backyard waterboarding scenario. When you're over 60, hypothermia doesn't just knock, it walks right in wearing muddy boots. Always look for debris lines, dry grass, or old puddle stains. Those are nature's way of whispering, you will float. You want higher ground, not poetic submersion. This isn't a river runs through it. It's more like a river ruins it. 11th, hide in plain suburbia, barrier bonuses. There's a sweet spot between suburbia and stealth. It's called architectural invisibility. Sound barriers, retaining walls, and landscaped slopes made to muffle highway noise are also amazing at hiding a body. Yours. Temporarily, You're not buried, you're just napping through capitalism. These places often have less foot traffic, more visual clutter, and the kind of acoustics that make your presence vanish. Bonus. No HOA. Karen is jogging here in the dark. Just be sure it's not patrolled or cameraed. You're looking for functional negligence, not security theater. 12th calendar combat. Holidays, my friend, are landmines. That wooded area that's peaceful on a Monday becomes bonfire central on July 4th, or a creepy couple's photo shoot zone on Halloween. Or, the site of a poorly planned Christmas tree dump. Always check the calendar. Local festivals, full moons, 3-day weekends, they all invite company. And you didn't bring snacks for visitors. You want isolation, not revelry. So plan like a paranoid event planner, because nothing says eviction like waking up with a pumpkin in your lap and glitter on your tarp. 13. Light discipline or you're toast. A phone screen, a cigarette, a flashlight, these are stealth grenades. Your 60-year-old self may be achy and wise, but your gear is loud. Use red light, angle your glow downward. And if you smoke, please, for the love of dark invisibility, walk at least 50 feet downwind. The scent of tobacco might as well be a flare to every midnight dog walker with opinions. You're not in a cabin. You're in the open. Treat every glow like a breach of the perimeter because it is. That soft flicker of light could be the one that gets you noticed, and noticed is one step from gone. 14. The triangle of access. Think of your world like a triangle. One point is a library, one a store, one a bus stop. If your camp isn't close to at least two of them, you've built yourself a prison with hiking privileges. When you're over 60, every step takes something from you. Water weighs more, groceries grow teeth, and walking half a mile with a bad hip, that's not fitness, that's torture cosplay. So choose a spot that respects your needs, not some distant utopia of camouflage and inaccessibility. Convenience is stealth because fewer trips mean fewer eyes. 15. Fresh tracks, bad news, boot prints, fresh tire marks, broken branches. These are the breadcrumbs of recent activity. If it looks like someone else was here yesterday or this morning, keep it moving. Best case, they're chill. Worst case, you're in someone's unofficial territory, and, nothing says time to move on like a guy in camo showing up at 6 a.m. to hunt squirrels with an air rifle and a beer. Don't argue with footprints. They tell a story. If the story ends in, and then the old guy got yelled at, you chose wrong. 16. Shadow shift. Dusk is the truth hour. You scout your spot at 2 p.m. Looks perfect. You return at 8 p.m. and, oh no, it's lit up like a stage set. The shadows you counted on betrayed you. Trees move. Light changes. That's how the sun works, Always return at twilight. Watch how the angles change. What was hidden becomes obvious. What was safe becomes suspicious. If your tent glows like a Christmas ornament as the light shifts, you're in trouble. Camp in a place that improves with darkness, not one that becomes an unintentional art installation. 17. Wind wisdom, funk management. Here's the harsh truth. Over 60, we all carry a little ambiance. Call it elder musk. Now add campfire, foot rot, and whatever food you last cooked. You're smellable. So don't camp downwind of a neighborhood. That faint aroma you think is subtle. It's drifting into someone's kitchen window like a ghost of survival. The result? Cops, or worse, a confused dad with a mag light. Always check wind direction. If you can smell them, they can smell you, and in this game, scent travels faster than sin. 18. Don't camp near water unless you love people. Everyone loves a creek. Kids, dogs, photographers, hikers, they all flock to it like it's a sacred watering hole, which means your peaceful hideaway becomes a trailhead in 10 minutes. Even that abandoned ditch might host early morning joggers or bored teens throwing rocks. Water attracts attention, and people mean exposure. Unless you're planning to move at sunrise or enjoy explaining your entire life story while tying your boot, stay dry and hidden. Stealth isn't serenity, it's isolation. Water is the opposite. 19. Trust the vibe, always. There's no science here, just instinct. Sometimes you walk into a spot and it just feels wrong, not because of dogs or lights or smells, just wrong. Maybe it's trash arranged too neatly. Maybe it's the silence. Maybe your guts just whisper, we're not alone. Trust it. The older you get, the sharper that sixth sense becomes. It's not paranoia. It's experience filtered through cartilage loss and heartburn. If you get that itch, move. Don't debate the air. You'll thank yourself later. Or, avoid a deeply awkward run-in with someone who thinks that land belongs to their grandfather's ghost. So there you go, 19 reminders that stealth camping after 60 isn't about being invisible, it's about being efficient with your mortality. When you're younger, scouting is an adventure. You walk a mile, poke a few bushes, do a little climbing, feel like a nomadic ninja. But at this age, scouting is taxing. Your knees whisper threats. Your back files complaints, and by the time you find the spot, you're too tired to even set up camp without cursing every stick and rock under your sleeping pad. You don't move fast, you move smart. You don't sneak, you fade. And you don't bounce back, you recover slowly in stages. It's not about giving up, it's about giving in to the reality of your bones, your pace, your well-earned caution. You're not broken. You're practiced, you've got 60 plus years of adapting, and that means you've earned every secret place you find. I hope your road is a good one, and if you're homeless, I hope it doesn't suck for you. Take care.